It is everyone's favorite Neos.
Yes, the Salted Neos is back for God knows how many times on this channel now. It seems like I'm doing more on here than my own channel nowadays.
We just love you that much, man.
True enough.
All right, so we did the Pegasus Challenge today. What did you play?
I gotta find the card because, oh boy, it's a fun one.
And I heard there's a lot of bling in it too.
There's a lot of bling, but we played a deck completely based around this one spell card.
What? Cocoon Party.
It is so dumb, but we'll get into it in a moment.
Okay.
Broken. Absolutely broken. All right, so we're going to go right into it. Starting off with the Neo-Spacians, because, of course, we have our 3 copies of Aqua Dolphin.
Oh, man, look at those.
$200 a copy for some reason.
Damn.
Dolphin is just, you pick it, it's a 3-of because of Isolde. Really, that's it. Because it's a warrior. There's one more that's a 3-of that would never be a 3-of in any other variant of this deck. We have 3 copies of Air Hummingbird. 1 ulti here too.
Wow.
You need it, it's a 3-of because the Wing Beast, and you can normal summon it potentially to do the same stuff you normally do.
Gotcha.
So the 2-ofs, we have 2 Dark Panther. I was really hoping that I'd see a Verte Anaconda because this thing can copy the effects of one other monster on the field the opponent has. So if you target Verte Anaconda, they have to negate it with Dragoon. Because if they don't, you get a Dragoon at the end of everything else you're doing.
Oh my god.
It's actually hilarious. And the other 2-of, we have 2 Grand Mole.
That's like your signature card almost, man.
I mean, I don't use it that much. It's a good card. It's better than most of the Neo-Spacians.
Okay.
It's 2-of because it's not one you want to open, but I mean, it comes up in the clutch.
Gotcha.
Now, if I didn't have an ulti of this, I wouldn't be running it, but 1 Flare Scarab. It should be a Glow Moth. It absolutely should be a Glow Moth because having 6 in here actually hurts you. Because you can, if you have all 6 engraved, Cocoon Party can't activate.
Gotcha.
But Glow Moth is better because of its attribute. Because it's a light, it'll come up later with Small World, but Small World is ridiculous in this deck. Every single card searches every other card.
Oh man.
It's actually nuts. Speaking of things that it searches, 3 Neo-Spacians can lead into this connector.
These guys. Oh yeah.
So here's the thing. It is a light warrior with 800 attack.
Yeah.
It's light. Glow Moth leads into it. It's a warrior. Dolphin leads into it. It has 800 attack. Hummingbird leads into it. So as the bridge card, you have 3 ways to get to connector. And that means anything that can go to any of those, which is basically everything, because they're all level 3s like almost everything else in the deck, you can just go right to connector. Super searchable. Where's the other? There's another one that's pretty good for that too. But that's not supposed to be this early in the profile. So extenders, we have a lot of those too. There are a lot of 2-ofs because it's a 60 card list and there's already space issues. 2 Marauding Captain, because it's a warrior. Summons another one from hand. Good for Hummingbird. 2 Junk Forward, good extender. Just warrior again. Kagemusha Knight, same deal. It summons stuff you normal summon level 3, which is normally always.
Sweet.
1 Defrag, which had to be cut to make room for a 3rd Small World. I was running it at 2 like everything else. It's a free special summon for a 3, and that means you can most of these can still lead into Cherubini as well.
Alright.
It's crazy. Then we have 2 Gallus of Star Beast. Most of your deck is monsters, so said monster, if you reveal any of those monsters, you burn and summon this thing. Actually crazy. And now we're on to, well, it's not really going to be separated into like monster, spell trap, whatever, because there's a lot of dead cards for other engines in the deck.
Okay.
So we're just going into the engines portion of this now. So we have our 3 Cocoon Party. For every differently named Neo-Spacian engrave, you summon exactly 1 Chrysalis from deck.
Oh.
So loading up the grave with Neo-Spacians gets you a bunch of Chrysalis. You can summon up to 5. And for those 5, we run 3 copies of Chrysalis Chicky because it's a Wing Beast.
Aww.
Then we run 1 Pantail because it has 800 attack, so it leads into Connector. And then 1 Dolphin because it has 600 defense, so it leads into Terratop.
Aww.
Speaking of Terratop, we have our 1 copy of Terratop, 1 copy of Takatomor, because we can search it very easily with Small World, and that means we can get to Gossip Shadow.
I think that's better because they're cuter.
I mean, they're cuter, but they're also not very good outside of Cocoon Party. This leads into Gossip Shadow off that engine people are hyping up that made Small World expensive before I could get my 3rd copy. But nuts. We have a Phantom Knight package of 1 Ancient Cloak, 1 Silent Boots, and then 2 Fog Blade, 1 Shade Brigadine. This is part of your main combo that ends on Samorg plus Avramax. Because after you get the Samorg out, you make the Virus package, you make the first Codebreaker, you go into the second one, you summon the 2 things to its zones, you make Rusty, then with the Rusty you get the Shade Brigadine, and you send the Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak search Silent Boots. Then the Silent Boots comes out, you use these 2 to make IP, then you summon Avramax, Avermax with Samorg out, the Samorg summons Stormwinds. They have to attack the Avermax. They cannot attack the Stormwinds. It's actually crazy, and the PKs are very crucial to that because it lets you do it with IP instead of what you normally do.
Oh, man.
So then we have the stuff that exists solely for Azul. One cross-porter, which only exists for really weird hands. It's cuttable. As is this, Fleur to Fleur, which only exists to have a second name in here for him. It's Living Fossil for level 4, for level 2 or lowers instead.
Okay.
Living Fossil is the one you normally run for Renaud. That's a Premature Burial for 4 and unders. And this, when you summon it, gets an equip back. So if you send one off Azul, it immediately gets the equip back. So it basically makes Azul have 2 summons. And now we're on to the Joker Knight package. So 3 Joker's Knight and 1 Queen's Knight.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen you going on with this nonsense.
This card's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the only, I'd say it would see more play if it didn't see a Garnet, but said Garnet makes it constantly, it makes it infinitely come back to your hand.
All right.
So it's a free warrior, and then at the end of the turn, you get it back by shuffling Queen's Knight back in. So it immediately makes itself live again by returning to your hand.
Okay.
It's nuts. And then we have our Dragoon package. Nothing more need to say about that.
There you go, more Garnets.
1 0-day Garnet, 1 Stormwinds Garnet. There's like 20 Garnets in here.
Oh, man.
The Neo-Spacians can be considered it too, honestly. So we still have some more cards to go through. These are 3 copies of Convert Contact.
All right.
So this card's also ridiculous. So if you have no monsters out, you send a Neo-Spacian from hand and 1 from deck to grave. This is not the cost of the card, by the way.
All right.
If they ash it, it's still an even trade. And then after you do that, you draw 2.
Gotcha.
Crazy, and it sets up Cocoon Party. 3 of the cards that makes this deck friggin' hilarious.
Oh, dear God. This is the one that...
Small World is that card you basically need a spreadsheet for.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Every single monster in this deck can lead to any other monster in this deck.
Wow.
Like, it's nuts, because all the Neo-Spacians are level 3s, that's all they share with each other. And then on top of that, you have access to every attribute from that. You have access to 6 different types, you have access to a bunch of attack stats.
Gotcha.
Crazy. Then 1 Rhoda, because, yeah, you know.
You can.
Why not? Connect is level 4. And 1 Foolish Burial, this is somewhat for, like, this is multi-purpose. It's somewhat for the Cocoon Party. It's somewhat for Cross-Porter, because the thing about Cross-Porter is when it's sent to grave, it searches a Neo-Spacian.
Gotcha.
And when Cross-Porter is actually summoned, or when on field, you can use Cross-Porter's effect. You send it to the grave, and then you summon a Neo-Spacian from hand, and then it triggers its effect to search.
Sweet. Okay, wow.
So you use it if you have Hummingbird in hand, basically off as old, so you just summon the Hummingbird from there, and you get a free search afterward. It's not, now it misses timing, so you can't link with it or anything, but using its own effect is the other way to get that search. Onto the extra, we have as old. Nothing more need to say. This card's ridiculous in a warrior-based deck, which is what we're in. Cherubini, because everything's level 3, and this also gets you to Rusty Bardiche.
Oh, okay.
This also, if you don't go through Rusty Bardiche this way, you go through it this way instead, basically. Okay. It's not as good to do it through Cherubini, but it still can be really good. 1 some more Bird of Sovereignty. Summon Stormwinds and End Phase with Avermax out. It's so fair. 1 Rusty. It's important in every single combo. The PKs are essential. So it puts a PK in grave, it gets you access to a spell trap. So if you already have the summon you need, you just get 2 Fog Blades. If you don't have the summon you need, 1 Fog Blade plus 1 summon.
Perfect.
IP, which is important for the Avermax to make it indestructible by card effects. And Avermax is stupid.
Oh, he's so crazy.
It's actually crazy.
I love him though.
1 Appaloosa, I didn't go into it. No, I did go into it today, actually. The reason it's actually in here is to break your own Samorg lock. Because you'd also be locked into winds. So this is a Wind Link 4 you can use to get out of it.
Oh, okay.
1 Verite Anaconda for Dragoon, 1 Dragoon. I might have tried DP, but I don't know.
Did you use Dragoon at all?
Oh yeah, quite a few times. Card's actually crazy. We have our Codebreaker package. So how these guys work is, if this guy is summoned while it's co-linked, it summons Codebreaker 0 day from deck, hand, or grave. Then when you link that and the 0 day off to make Virus Berserker, and on its summon, if it is summoned while co-linked, just like him, it summons up to 2 Codebreakers from hand or graveyard into zones links point to. So when you are summoning this typically, you summon it under Samorg. So you summon it under Samorg, you summon the first one, get the 0 day, link it off, get this, you'd have this and the 0 day there. Then you use that to get to Rusty.
Jeez.
And that's also something from extra deck, so when you make the IP, you can just immediately go into Masquerena.
Damn.
The rest of the extra, this exists solely for Terratop, because it's a free negation, basically. It didn't do it today, though. We have Nightmare Package of Phoenix Unicorn. Probably should have had Serb in here, but I didn't have room. Well, I might have, debatably. Link Spider's in here, too.
Okay.
So it exists for Nibiru tokens, believe it or not.
Oh.
You can kind of extend off, like you can kind of recover from Nibiru, even without Cocoon Party. If you get Nibiru while you have Cocoon Party in hand, you just win. But this also works on the Shade Brigadine, because that comes out as a normal monster, and if you need to get to an effect monster, you need Link Spider.
I'll say it's been a fun Wednesday deck, but
Well, anyway, how did it do today?
3-2, actually. Not bad considering it's jank, but I mean, Pegasus rules helped me a little bit. I actually forgot something important. Shoutouts to Andrew for support for loaning me, or selling me a second Ulti Panther.
Oh, man.
And
You know.
I needed this. And there's one more. Shoutouts to Blake of Dark Bride Gaming for loaning me a Small World, because I can't find a third copy.
Yeah, because everyone wants those, right?
I don't think it's everyone wants them. It was mostly just me and Blake chasing it.
Anyway, thank you so much for the profile, and be sure to check out Sultan Neo's channel.
I'll probably have a combo tutorial for this at some point. I keep saying I'm supposed to, and then I always delay it because procrastination.
Yeah, well, link in the description below. Anyway, check them out.
See you around, boss. Thanks again.